All right, guys, we're coming in here, starting our live here. Rose, are you there?
Kinda. I think I'm here. Hold on. Let's see.
So, let us know if you can hear us, see us, etc., 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 etc.
Can you see me?
Give us a heads up. Give us an idea.
I'm looking at my phone.
Guys, we're coming in.
Okay, I'm looking at my phone because there's a delay. So I'm looking at my phone. So I'll be on my phone so I can respond to you guys. Since this is a live.
Yes.
It's a live. If you're out there, hi. But if you're out there, let us know if you can hear us, and let us know where you're watching from, what city, what state, what country are you watching from?
Yes. So give us a heads up on the feed here. I'm gonna do some things here. I gotta just kind of give us a visual here on my end. So just pardon me.
Just ignore him for a second.
Let's see.
Yes, we can see. Okay, hi, Casey. Yes, we can see and hear you. Hi, from England. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Awesome.
Okay. Hello. Hello from England.
Who else is out there?
Welcome again.
Give us a heads up.
And thank you for always responding on my post and on the videos. I appreciate that a lot. We really do. Right, baby?
Yes. We just want to make sure that we have enough volume. And again, like I said, I'm just trying to...
Is the volume pretty good, guys? Should I talk up? Should I speak up louder? Or am I good where I'm at? We're just testing things.
Yeah, we're just testing something here real quick.
Is this thing on?
I need to get my monitor source going on.
I always wanted to say that. Is this thing on?
So let's see if I can just pull up the monitor source here.
I think we're good though.
Well, I'm talking about on my end over here so I can see.
So you can see, yeah. We're just trying to check and see. That's why we popped on. So.
But we've had a very eventful weekend so far.
Yeah.
We had a great time last night, but we've had some issues that come with, living in Mexico. It's just the way it happens here.
So we'll be talking about that today. The challenges a few challenges that we're facing. Just a few of them.
Just a few, like right now.
Like currently.
So just let us know if you're there.
Yeah.
Give us a heads up that you can still see me.
Casey's
you can
there.
see us.
Casey's there.
And we're just saying happy Sunday to you guys.
Yes, happy Sunday, everyone. So quick question though. Would you guys want us to come on every Sunday around this time to do our cozy couch chat? Because I thought that would be kind of cool. We'll still upload videos, etc. But we'll do the video upload probably like on Wednesday in the middle of the week. And then do the random, not random, but do the post inside the community tab. And then I'll also do some shorts. But like on Sunday, we were thinking just do live and we could just chat, talk about what's going on in life, update you guys on what's happening with us, and just in general talking. And if we have any good ideas or things we find out, we can just share.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, I do apologize right now. I just need to get this one thing settled real fast.
Yeah, ignore Jimmy right now. Just answer my question. It's the audio video tech in him. Everything has to be just right.
And it can't be just right. I'm trying my best to just be normal with it, but
I was gonna say be normal. Okay.
But it's just the way it works out. So
you're not normal.
We definitely appreciate you guys coming out. Again, if you can, give us a heads up on the feed so she can look and see who else is out there watching.
Yes.
But we'll introduce ourselves. I'm Jimmy.
Hi, and I'm Rosemarie.
And you are watching Food, Fun, and Faith. Yes. And we are out here in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. And we just recently got our temporary residency.
Woo!
Yes.
That's when you should push a button and go, yay! We don't know how to do that yet, but we will find out.
We will find out soon. We've been fortunate to live out here since the end of last year, and our home has been made here since the beginning of this year for Puerto Vallarta. We love this place. Yeah. It's hot and steamy right now, and it's been like thunderstorms pretty much every night.
Lots of thunderstorms, yeah.
So let us know, what's the weather like where you live? How's it going in London or in England? How's that weather there, or wherever you're from? Just let us know. Are you guys dealing with heat wave? Like
Right.
in Vegas, I know that they've been in triple digits.
Yes.
It feels like triple digits here.
Yeah, it
Anyways,
does.
the humidity has been like over 70%, so
It has been.
it's
really,
been crazy hot.
Yes, it's like every day.
Every day.
That's my whole thing every day doing this. And I'm not a sweater, so for me it's like this is new, you know. So yeah. So let's see. Casey said Sunday chat is fine with me. So it is 2300 here.
2,300.
So that is what time?
11
11
p.m.
11 p.m. there.
Yes.
Oh,
So it's 11
you
p.m.
should
there.
be
Wow.
sleeping right now.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? That's pretty cool because we stay up late. We're up
Yeah.
late all the time.
Yeah.
And then we get back up about 3, 4 in the morning. So hopefully you're getting more sleep than we get.
Yes, we need to get rest. Yeah.
But,
That's for sure. Change that habit.
One of the things that we're really, you know, this chat was going to be different before we started this, but today and yesterday especially what started our little hiccups,
Yeah.
has us wanting to talk about the situation because
Yeah.
we love Mexico, but with Mexico, there comes few complications, and we just have to be honest. You know,
Yes.
not every place you live is going to be perfect, even if you love it, because you know, coming from Las Vegas, I'm sure everybody can rave about Las Vegas and talk about how amazing the light show they go visit and everything else. But at the same time, the people that live there can tell you it's gorgeous, it's fun. Yeah, there's a lot of things to do, but at the same time, we have these issues.
Right.
So just because we left the USA to come to Mexico, it doesn't mean that just because we hit hiccups and roadblocks that we still do not love this country. Or love living here, but we're just going to be honest with some of the things that are happening.
Yes.
And right now we're dealing with.
Yeah. Well, first, excuse me for wiping my nose. I'm dealing with allergies. Is what I'm dealing with. I just want to explain that. So if you see me doing this, I apologize, but like the allergies for me because it's a different environment change. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So that just to let you know.
And that's why we're up at 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning.
Sometimes, yeah, because it's just a new environment. But that's the things that a challenge that you might face coming to a different environment because the trees are different, the fruit is different because I eat lots of fruit. Everything's different, the environment. So I didn't take that into consideration because I didn't realize that. But yeah, I should have known because when I moved to Vegas, I had allergy issues and itchy eyes and all that because it was so dry. Yeah, so yeah. Just want to put that out there. However, that's not what this conversation is about. So
no, this conversation is about what's been happening. And in the past 2 days, we have had our main water line, I don't know for what reason, to our building, it's off. So we've been without water, or we've actually had intermittent water.
trickles of water don't
Trickles
count.
of water doesn't count. So basically we've been without water because the last time we really had water was sometime
2 days
early
ago.
this morning, right before we left to go to the beach for a walk.
Oh, a little bit of came out.
And unfortunately, if we would have known it wasn't going to be back on when we got back,
Right.
we
Well, the thing is, the water came on like for a little bit, enough to wash the dishes from the previous night because of the fact that we didn't know the water was going to be off. So the water came on enough to fill about that much inside of the sink, the bucket that we have in the sink. That was it. So, and we didn't know after once we left. So we came back, it was like, shh, hello, like little tiny drips coming out. So there was just no water today.
So we're out of water
2
again.
days. So 2 days with no water. That is a very big challenge.
Yes, and we've talked to
Yes.
our landlord and stuff, and
Yeah.
she said, "Oh, the bill's paid, everything's taken care of because we
Right.
don't pay for the water here. We just pay for our power and our internet, and basically everything else is covered by the owner. So us tenants are all dealing with the same issue.
Right.
I've gone actually down outside of the building and realized that hey, the meter's moving a little bit." For our water, but it's been out. So
It's coming through.
our conversation today is, basically this is not something that would be necessarily new to living in Mexico.
Right.
You find out living here that there are some issues that come with being in this country. And one is going to be power outages.
Yes.
And especially right now because we're dealing with the storms that have been coming
Right.
through because of the Hurricane Beatrice,
Oh, yeah,
or
that's
Beatrice,
right.
however you want to name her. And, that causes power outages here.
Yep.
And the other thing is loss of water. Like for some reason, like a few weeks ago at the house sit that we've been doing, and understand, when we moved here to Puerto Vallarta, we got here based on a house sit.
Right.
So we were staying up in the Jardines Ramblasas area, up in the jungle, in this giant house, and we were fine for the whole 5 months we got to live in the house ourselves, in the house, no water issues. But what Mexico's been experiencing, and I think even the U.S. has been experiencing, has been
A drought.
severe drought,
Yeah.
but this extremely atrocious heat wave.
Yes.
And it's been noticed here because the rain season didn't start as early as I heard it should have started.
Right. They changed that.
So
Yeah, it changed.
what happened a few weeks ago was, you said there was a news report?
Yeah, it was a news report saying that there's an issue with water and like a drought or whatever. So they have to reserve some of the water. So certain locations are
It's like colonials or zones?
yeah, they just turn the water off. Like, okay, so it's like you have no water for like 3 days. They schedule water cut off. So I'm like, how does that even work? Like,
Now, fortunately for
Yeah.
us, when we've moved in our own place here on the beach, but going back, I've been working with the house, doing the gardening and everything
Yeah.
else, and watching the other house while the other owners, the owners are gone again. So
Right.
we've made another agreement to watch their home, but we have our own home here.
yeah,
And I did not know that the water had been shut off already before I went up there this one time to do
Yeah.
the gardening. And we have these giant cistern tanks that hold the reserve for the water. And that thing went out on me. And I was like, wait a minute, I didn't even know the water was off.
yeah,
It's some of those things you just don't know, especially when you're in a foreign country and maybe you're not watching the local news as much because you can't understand what they're saying because you
There's-
don't speak the language fully.
There's a problem,
And
yeah.
sure enough, I found out. But then again, now we hit this problem. And it's
Right.
not that it's this area now. Now,
Right.
when that water situation, that turnoff happened up in Jardines,
yes.
it was a shut off for that area.
A scheduled
scheduled
shut
shut
Yeah,
off.
right.
Don't know what our reason is, but we've been out of water, just our building. Other people
Yes.
have water
Yeah.
flowing. But our particular building on our corner is the only one I think that I know of that is out. So I know our
Right.
neighbor downstairs, she
Yeah.
has been without water, and it's
she's
kind of
like-
weird.
And she's elderly too.
She's
so
very
that's-
elderly.
Yeah, so that's the issue.
Yeah.
That's the main thing because I can handle it, but she might. Yeah.
She may not, but she's been,
But
she's pretty
well, then
resilient.
again, she was like, "That's Mexico for you." I'm like, "Oh,
Yes.
okay."
And she
Okay.
said this has happened before and it happens periodically.
Yeah.
This is just, again, we haven't been here during rainy season
Right.
to
So
know
we
this.
don't know. Yeah.
And my guess could be that because I've seen the meter running, I'm kind of thinking we have had our streets flooded here and we have this big drainage. So I think maybe debris has kind of gone down and somehow hit our line or something. I don't know.
Could happen. Yeah.
You
You
know-
just gotta find out what CPAL says.
Yes, and
Wow.
CPAL's the water company here in Mexico. Now the only problem is it's a weekend, so guess what?
Right.
There's no service or
No service.
no customer service during the weekend. So
Yes,
we're
yes.
basically waiting till tomorrow to get some help.
Make sure somebody wasn't saying something.
Right? So, we kind of wanted to talk about what, how we're basically handling this and what people should kind of do, kind of the things that, since this is a new problem for us, but
Yeah.
others will come across this that live here in Mexico. And if you move here and you don't want to get hit by surprise, because you will,
Yes, you will.
and to say that you won't experience a power outage just because of where you live, no, that's not necessarily true. It happens in the good areas, the bad
Oh, yeah.
areas,
It
the
happens
local
in-
areas, the expat areas.
It's just the way it is. So
Yeah. So we kind of want to give you some of the things that we've experienced or how we're adjusting in this time. That's, basically it's not comfortable for us.
right. And not comfortable.
It's not comfortable.
Well,
You know, because you have to make those adjustments. I mean,
yeah.
there's only like one time I can think of when our pipes froze over in Las Vegas when we dealt with that.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that's right.
And that's one issue that kind of dealt with for our water for a
Because that
while.
doesn't usually happen. It's Vegas, so it's always hot. So remember when that
Yeah.
winter came in? Yeah. So
Now we've had to deal with the AC going out, and that's a bear. But
oh my.
and if it goes out here, that would be extremely horrible.
Ooh.
But we're on day 2 of basically no available water. So
Yes.
we're going to give you like some of our hacks
Yeah.
that you might consider doing if you're ever in a situation where your main water line goes out
Yeah.
and you need to try to get by.
Yeah. So the first one is, first you need to have an attitude of gratitude. So you need to know that instead of getting upset and losing your focus and everything, you need to focus on the solution to the problem and not just be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. And definitely, if the landlord's paying for the water, don't text her or whatever, or go call her going off on her. Because we're in Mexico,
Oh, yeah.
and it could be like, okay, then gringo, I got you, all right. So you want to have that positive attitude, text positively and tell her, hey, this is what the issue is going on, and could you please help us? And and have that good communication going back and forth. If you are upset, you will not even think of ways of how to solve the problem, because usually that just clouds your vision.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And especially, it's really not so much that if you can really solve the problem, but you
Yeah.
do need to figure out,
Or face it.
face it, yes. How are you going to respond in the situation so that
Right.
basically you don't make it worse? Because
Right.
if it's already stressful, you don't want to add any additional stress
Right.
with the bad attitude.
Right.
And so we, again, last night yesterday during the day when it went out, it turned out that it started pouring heavy rain and stuff. And there was a party, a get-together barbecue that was down the road, a couple blocks away. And we were like missing, like in the time that we were supposed to get started to go there, we
Yeah.
couldn't go there because we were trying to figure out, is this water going to get turned on?
Right.
We were trying to wait for responses from our landlord.
Right.
To find out, okay, do you know what's going on? Do you even understand? Do you even know that it's happening? And
Yeah.
who can you get a hold of to help us to resolve this? So, literally, it took us. We just finally decided. It was like a couple hours, and it wasn't happening. We weren't getting real communication.
No, we weren't.
So we just decided to leave and go to the party last night.
Yep. What are you gonna do? You might as well go have fun.
So
Go ahead.
that was one thing that we did, and we got a chance to kind of get away from the situation.
Right.
And when we came back, you still have that problem. You still have the problem, but it's at the time of evening where you can go to sleep, or we just kind of, the good thing was we had power. So one of the things of gratitude at that time was that we could watch one of our shows to catch up on, and there were things that we could do in spite of the fact that we couldn't really deal with the water.
Right.
And we had volunteers that said, hey, if you ever need to use the restroom, showers, whatever,
Yeah.
Rob was like, definitely come over to our place.
Yeah.
He just got here to Mexico, within 2 weeks, I think,
Yeah,
if
within,
that.
I think a week. He's just been here a couple of days, right? I thought.
Yeah, so he was really, really
that was
encouraging,
kind.
and that was a blessing to us.
That was cool.
And yet, we were like, okay, but
Yeah, that's our friend's brother from Aging Grateful. If go check out their channel, it's Aging Grateful. That's her brother Rob, who offered us to be able to come use his place.
Right.
Yeah. So So I thought that was really cool.
yeah, so we want
Didn't
to
have
shout
to.
out to him and thank him
Yes.
for just being just generous with his heart to even, offer that.
Gracias, amigo.
Gracias.
I gotta start using my.
So this is the thing, though. Whether you're an owner or whether you're the renter, the first thing that you could do after you really put yourself in check and just be thankful, be grateful. Again, even this morning, we just said we're just going to go walk the beach and enjoy ourselves.
There's water out there.
Because we're grateful for the fact that we live right here, close enough to just literally be in our backyard is the ocean.
Yeah.
And it's amazing, and it's just, that's one of our gratitude, regardless of how the situation
Right,
goes.
right.
We're thankful for that.
Oh, yeah.
But once we came back, it was like, okay, now our feet are covered with dirt and sand, and we have shells in our pockets. What are we going to do?
Don't tell nobody about the shells.
So one of the things I did yesterday anyway was you have to start with checking the main line.
Yeah.
First check your line in your house, because you'll find out whatever your intake is coming into your home or to your building, if you know all your sinks, faucets are not running water, then obviously it's something that's coming to the building that has to start with the problem. So once I found out from our neighbor downstairs where the main water line is that comes from the street to our particular building is, I went to check that meter. And that's where you want to start, because if every, you can always start with one sink, but if every sink and the shower is not running water, then obviously it's somewhere else.
Right.
So I went outside, I checked that, and checked to make sure that the on flow was on, and it was, and I could see the meter running, so I know that wasn't the problem. But at that point, there's nothing really I can do about it, because again, I don't have the account for the water company.
Right. Yeah.
It's in my landowner's name,
Yeah.
landlord's name, and so we just basically have to communicate through her, and we just, again, we'll have to wait till.
Oops. Sorry.
We'll have to wait till Monday.
I dropped my phone because it looks like we froze. I'm not sure if we froze or not. Let me grab my phone, guys. If you can hear us or see us, or if we're not frozen, let me know. About to reach it out and get my phone.
Yes, please let us know, because we're live streaming. And we don't want this to be frozen. Please don't freeze. If you can let us know, help us there. And we look crazy on the streams that I'm seeing right now. So,
excuse me, sorry.
Let's see. Let us know if you can tell us, are we frozen?
Yeah, I made a comment in here.
And can anybody see, are we frozen? Because I might have to switch to another cam.
Looks like it, we're frozen.
Okay. All right, guys. I apologize for this, but I'm going to do a...
Just don't get a shot of the other way. There you go.
Let's see. We're going to try to deal with this quickly and get us back on track.
Yes. Excuse me. Sniffing, guys. Allergies can be annoying.
All right. Okay. There you go.
Is that better? Let's see. Let's see if that worked. It went black. Let's see. Actually, let me see if I can hear us. All right. Yep. Well, at least you guys can still hear us, because I can hear on my phone. Sorry about that. It's things that happen when you go live.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Sorry about that. Let's see.
Sniffy, sniffy. All right.
It's
There
not
you
so
go.
much.
What?
Let's see.
Okay, what are you doing?
I got to get it where we're in the picture. That's what I got to do.
So we're using the computer now, and remember, guys,
This is so weird.
we don't do live all the time, so we're getting used to it. Other way. Hey, other way.
That is so weird. No, we're in. It's right there.
Right there. That little thing up there, man. Oh my goodness gracious.
I'm trying to get us even in the picture. So there you go, Rose, for you. You gotta have it in. All right, guys. I don't know. We're working on it. Sorry about that.
That's what the comedy of life is all about. The mess, we're
It
not
makes
perfect.
zero sense.
We're not perfect beings here.
So we'll move this along, because, you know, so again, one of these things is, once it comes to this point, we've checked our outside, and, you just kind of have to be creative.
Yeah.
You gotta turn it down, bro.
Oh, sorry about that, guys.
You have to just kind of be creative with how you're gonna tackle the situation. And I'll tell you, one of the things that help us is you got to start with those 5-gallon jugs of water that we all have to use.
Oh, thank you.
Because in Mexico, you don't drink the water out of the tap, but you'll have your basically, you can go to OXXO, which is like our 7-Eleven here, and you can get those big jugs, and you use that and you dump it in the water dispenser.
Right.
So we just basically started using that.
Yep.
Because we had to get by with something. So we start using that and start filling up different things. So you can basically, we have a little tub in the sink to wash dishes with.
Yep.
And we pour some water in there and we just create a little wash tub. And then you can do a little rinse thing also.
Yeah, absolutely. Casey distracted me. I'm sorry. And she said, I like your color coordinated tops. I'm sorry. I was like, oh, thank you. In my head, I was like, oh, thank you. So you distracted me. It's okay though. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Back to Jimmy. Go ahead.
But yeah,
so get the gallon jugs from our OXO and make sure you have those filled up, and also have small bottles. Like get a case of water. Always have it in your home, no matter what we do. No matter what.
Yeah, just so you can have drinking water.
Yes.
But to start doing some stuff to wash with, you want to go ahead and, if you have to, just use the 5 gallon or 20 milliliter or 20 liter jugs out here, and you just basically start utilizing that to go ahead and get stuff washed.
Yeah.
You kind of have to be creative. You kind of have to say, well, if it's not coming out of the faucet, what can I do?
Right.
What can I use?
You can use it to brush your teeth.
Right.
Don't forget you can use that. So you'll need that to brush your teeth. You also need the water to cook, because we're so easily grabbing the pot and wanting to go to the sink to boil, and it's like, oh shoot, I don't have water. So definitely have that water on hand to cook.
Right.
What you gonna say?
And the good thing about, like, with brushing your teeth, let's say, by using basically the little your little 16 milliliter bottles or 16 ounce bottles of water, you can just use that for rinsing and stuff, because you're going to do that anyways out here. I mean, unless you have filtered water coming into your home.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You don't use water in Mexico.
Not
you don't
like
drink
that.
the water. I'm pretty sure most of you guys know that, but we
you
don't
definitely
drink the water in the first place. Okay. Hey, I didn't drink the water in the United States, because some of the cities, you never know.
Right.
So
because of lead and everything else that's in the pipes. But here we know for sure. So what we always do is at the other house, the house they have filtered water, so we could use that.
Right.
But here, because we're in the central part, in the Zona Romantica area, and ours is an older build, it's a more traditional build, we actually have to use bottled water when we brush our teeth. So that's a good thing.
Yes.
The other thing is, collects, I would say this is like, people don't realize it. A squirt bottle, if you get a few of these, because we have a little plastic shop right down a block or two away, get some squirt bottles, because the good thing that you can do is with baby wipes and the squirt bottle and your facial wash, you can just basically start washing your face with a quick, fast facial wash.
I'm sorry.
And, you can do your body real fast. Baby wipe with a rag too, but the rag's going to absorb a lot.
Yeah.
So if you use the baby wipes, you can start hooking it up.
I was just remembering Jimmy doing it this morning, and I was recording him. I'll share that later on the short, maybe. Because it's like, you got to do this, wash it. It's awkward because you're not used to that, but it is something that you could do.
Yeah. And again, we're using water that, since we started with, I've always kept a bottle of water to take with me to, if I go to the gym or something, because when I'm leaving and I'm coming back, you want to just kind of cool yourself off.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So, and I always use, obviously distilled water, but not distilled water, but the purified water.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Another thing that we said that you can have, make sure that you have a bucket, because the other thing you don't think about, if the water's off and you have to go potty, then you need some way to flush it.
Yes.
So definitely have a bucket in your house, or a big bowl, because you want to make sure you put that water in there and
flush the toilets.
You don't want to learn it the hard way. You're like, oh.
No, you don't.
Right, because once you flush once and the water's off, it's a no-go.
So tell me if we're frozen again, because it looks like we're frozen again. And I'm going to work on something real quick to see.
We may be frozen, but I think they can hear us still, so that's okay.
Ah.
Don't worry about it. We'll unfreeze. Like she said, it unfreezes itself here and there. But yeah, so make sure you have a bucket in your home. These are just things where I give you tips so that you can have ready in advance. Because sometimes these things happen not just in Mexico, but in the United States too.
Yes.
Things can happen anywhere. So.
Sorry, guys.
And my husband just abandoned me. So that was my show. hi guys. What do you like to talk about? He just left me. It's just one of those Sundays. See, because of the fact that we don't have no water. See what water can do to you? I'm sorry.
I'm working on everything.
I have to laugh about it because we chose, we chose to move out here. Apart from me dealing with allergies and try to do like fruit fast so I can cleanse my whole system and do a reset. Apart from that, there's challenges that come up. Something just happened on your thing. But anyway, there's challenges that show up. And again, having a good attitude about it, you won't be so frustrated and it won't hurt so much. You know what I mean? Right. So I usually have a good attitude about stuff anyway because, I mean, really, I don't really care. I'm a type person that's like, whatever. Like, things happen in life, so this is just life. Because I dealt with a lot in my life in the past that I've overcame. But this little stuff right here ain't nothing. Right. So, you know. It's nothing.
One other thing that we do, and I don't know if you can see this now, but I have this big tub here. It's like a good sized tub here.
Yeah.
And what I like about using this kind of tub is because we live right by the beach, when you come in, you're always coming in with sand and stuff.
Yeah.
So if you have that filled up, you could fill that up with like water to rinse your feet off before you come in to the house.
Right.
So, you know, when we leave and we know we're going to the beach or something like that, we can have the water with just enough in there, waiting at the doorway.
Yep.
And we can have a little soap in there so that we can hurry up and just wash the sand off our feet, and then come into the house and then, you know, basically rinse our flip-flops off in that water. And then what you can do is just take that water and reuse it for flushing down the toilet, because you're going to need water to use the toilets. And again, that's the best thing, is that at least you have dirty water you can use to flush the toilet with.
And I know this stuff sounds kind of weird and gross, but it's just life, you know. And also, out here they have baños, so that you know, public bathrooms that you can pay like 10 pesos to go to the bathroom anyway. So we have
we have like a ton of
them like down the beach and everything. So you could always do that as well. It's not the funnest thing to do, but
at least you
gotta go. You gotta go. So,
now, and including the fact that sometimes when you go to these public restrooms, whether they be even in a building, you might have a toilet that sits there where they just have somebody that has a bucket. Or that's how we basically figured it out.
In Mexico,
So we're just basically mimicking what you do in some public bathrooms anyways, by having a bucket of water to flush the toilet.
This is true. I forgot about that.
You know, like when we went down to Miss Maloya to go Miss Maloya Beach, they had the bucket system.
It was just a hole in the ground kind of thing, and you go do your thing, and then the guys out there, and then well, actually, you were supposed to scoop it and pour the water down the hole. However, I was just like, and I walked away, and the guy was like, "Oh, I got you." I was like, "You sure do," because I ain't touching that bucket over there. I'm sorry, homie, I am not touching that bucket. So that's what happened out there. So I forgot about that. It was kind of gross, but you know, you gotta go. So then Casey, she asked, or he or she, I'm not sure, but said, do the squirrels still visit?
Yes, they do. We have like...
I haven't seen them in a while though.
Well, it's been raining.
Since it's been raining, actually I have not seen the squirrels.
So the heavy rain, a lot of wasps. So yeah, we just recently I had to take down a wasp. She was building the nest.
Yeah.
And I got the first one that she tried to build, but then the second one came up, and I didn't even notice it was already started, and it was up above our door.
Girlfriend, you got to build somewhere else. We can't have a whole wasp nest right in front of the door.
Yeah, so that had to go.
Yeah, so that's what's visiting now, the wasp. And this tree out here has tons of bees, but the bees don't bother anybody. They just go pollinate or whatever, do their thing, but no.
And then also we've had the dragonflies that have come in because of the storms, that they are escaping the water. So I guess it's like if you watch Bug's Life and you see how big those drops are. I mean, it is severe rain here.
Yeah.
I mean, it ain't no joke here.
Yeah, it's crazy rain.
When it rains, but you know.
And the dragonfly just came into the house. Twice.
Well, a couple of them.
Yeah, they just came in like.
So I kicked one out and then caught him, and then it could have been the other one, the same one, come back in and said, "Hey, I'm gonna try one more time."
He's like, "Look, bro, it's raining outside. You won't let me in. That's what
And
he
I was
said.
like, no, you gotta go.
So anyway, that's the things that we've been doing with as far as the water is concerned.
But also with that
Yeah.
is now that since it is raining, and what we will do is since we have these buckets that we can put out, you just put it out on the patio or somewhere to collect the rain.
That's true.
That way you can use that water to, again, flush toilets.
Yeah, that's
You could wash with that because as long as you know it's coming straight from the cloud
Yeah.
and not off
The clouds.
Sorry, and not off of a pipe coming through from off the rooftop.
Right.
Because you kind of have to watch that here.
Yeah,
You'll have these little drainage pipes, and you don't know what's been sitting in the drain as it drips, and you walk down the sidewalk.
Drop your head. Right. Thank you.
Kind of like bird droppings. You just gotta pay attention.
Yeah, that's true.
How you walk around here.
Right. I forgot about that. So we can collect water tonight, but we also can go. I guess you can't use the ocean water, right?
No.
Because I was like, I'll just go out there and scoop.
No, that's gross, nasty. Because here we might catch fish with those too, and we don't want to put them down the drain.
Oh, that is true.
So,
yeah, that's true. So that's the situation we've been dealing with. We also want to talk about another situation that we dealt with when it comes down to utilities and things like that. But first, a word from our sponsor. No, I'm just joking. First, I wanted to come in and ask you guys, we have a goal that we're trying to reach. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, okay? So we're at 612 right now, right?
Okay.
So if you're watching this, either in the replay or if you're on right now and you have not subscribed, please subscribe to our channel. If you like what you're hearing, and if you like the videos that we post, please subscribe, be a part of the family, and join us.
yes. And bear with our live streams. I
Yeah.
don't know what's going on
Yeah.
with our...
This is new, so we're trying to figure it all out.
Trying to find out what's stopping and preventing, because our internet speed is strong enough, but
Yeah, but most people might have to just watch the replay just in case. Hopefully, it looks like we're frozen again, probably, and you can probably hear us. But yeah, so join the channel and also share and like our videos. Share and like our videos.
now our videos
Thank
won't
you.
have this buffering problem.
The videos won't have the buffering, but this is something new. Like I said earlier, we'll definitely be posting videos every week, already for you guys. But we just thought we'd try something different with some lives, so yeah. Anywho, so on to the next subject, which is the electric. Boogie, oogie, oogie.
That's kind of okay.
If you're old like me,
So
older like
basically-
me, the electric.
If you run into situations, again, water being out is the one thing, and then the other thing that you're going to encounter, no doubt, it's going to happen sometime if you're going to live out here in Mexico, is going to be power outages.
Right.
The
Yes.
power is going to go out. It's not going to be something that you can prevent.
Right. Especially during rainy season.
During rainy season,
Yeah.
and also before rainy season, at least up in Rumblasis, the power has been out a few times up there.
Oh yeah. Huh?
Because it was during the extremely, the severe heat wave.
That's right. I
So-
forgot about that. That's right.
Before the rains came and the heat was knocking power out up there.
Right. So for the power outages before these things occur, we just like to suggest a few things, because when we were in the middle of the power outages, we didn't have some of these things. So we were just like, okay, what do we do? Like, we run to the store, blah, 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 but that wasn't going to cut it. So to be prepared in advance, here's what you can do. I feel like a teacher. So here's what you can do. All right. So buy yourself some candles, some lighters, some matches, and some flashlights with extra batteries.
Right.
Why?
You should definitely keep them handy because, again, once the power goes out, you have a way to light up and see what is happening around you.
Right. And you don't know how long the power may be out. So it's just in case it's out around other people and they're running to the store trying to get the stuff, you're already prepared, right?
And for us, it's like, it's depending on where you're staying at,
Yeah.
you may not have access to just get up and go like you would like to.
This is true.
So it's
Right, we
really
didn't have
important
a
to have
vehicle.
that set up.
So you can read the second one. I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget.
The other thing is that for power outages, it's important so that you can have communication. You want to definitely make sure that you keep your what do you call them? Your portable power banks for your phone, your cell phone and stuff. Keep those charged and available. Always know where your
Yes.
portable batteries are so that you can keep your phones charged and have that service running.
Yes.
Because you want to make sure that you can always communicate.
Bye, Casey.
So,
Sorry, I was just responding to Casey. Bye.
and or is it Cassie?
Cassie, yeah.
Cassie.
Bye. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
She's in,
oh yeah,
she's
because
in
it's
England, guys.
England, she's got to get
Yeah,
some sleep.
and she's always on. So
Thank you.
yeah, we'll start trying to come on a little earlier.
The other thing is, again, with that, you want to have a list of phone numbers. You know,
Yeah, I have that. That's coming up.
you know, you could have it in your phone, but then again, if your phone goes out and stuff,
Right.
you kind of should have something where it's maybe in a book or something close by. And especially if you live with neighbors where you like have a situation where you're trying to kind of make sure everybody's okay, like have your communication ways to communicate with each other
Right.
in the same building complex or neighbors nearby.
Yeah, that's coming up. That was one of my things coming up.
Oh, what's another way of communicating with them, Rose?
No, that was just another. But we have to go down the list.
I mean, either way, you have a list. Go ahead.
Anyway, walkie-talkies. I had a list, you know how I am. But anyway, so another way to communicate with your neighbors, even though I was kind of going into this, is walkie-talkies you could get. So like we have elderly neighbors. Well, if you feel close to any of your neighbors, you can always give them one, and you have one, and you can get the battery operated ones, or you can get the kind that wind up for emergency purposes, which is even better because you have to worry about a battery. Have that on hand so that you can communicate back and forth with your neighbors and make sure you check on them. So
Yeah,
and help each other. Yeah.
yeah. We have quite a few elderly residents in our building.
Yeah. So you will make sure they're okay. So did you go to number 2?
You can go to number 2.
So another thing you could prepare yourself just in case the electricity goes out. Have some non-perishable foods available like granola bars, dried fruit, chips. Make sure you have your water, of course. We spoke about that earlier with the water outage. Some crackers, nuts, jarred salsa, things like that, so that you'll be prepared to have something to eat. Because things in your refrigerator, you don't want to keep opening up your refrigerator, close your refrigerator. That's the other point. Keep your refrigerator closed, especially your freezer, because it can last up to 48 hours keeping everything frozen. So just in case, you go over time with the electric being out, okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
And with that, because in Mexico, at least in our place, a lot of times you'll have here, instead of us getting an oven and a stove, you won't have a full oven stove thing. You might get this like gas burner for stovetop.
Yeah.
That they literally have a section in the kitchen counter that's cut out for this unit that's a gas. You could basically hook a propane tank to it.
Yeah.
And sit it right on top of the counter, and it basically is running gas, stovetop.
Yeah.
So always be aware, if you have that in Mexico, which most people will, depending on where, even when we were in Merida,
Yeah.
that
they had
place,
that
the
same
Airbnb
thing.
we were
Yeah.
in, and
Well, that one was electric.
no,
Was it gas?
it was gas.
Okay, one of them
It was the
electric.
small, the one in Cancun was probably electric.
Oh, okay, yeah, that was.
Because that was different, but the one in Merida was not.
Right.
So it's just a common thing that they have here. So you can always use that flame for light, to light the candles, to basically cook with during that time. If the power goes out, you still have access to that to do things like that.
Right.
But again, you want to make sure that you're lighting something, have some flashlights and candles available to illuminate more stuff in the house.
Exactly. And if you don't want to cook, you could always go. There's always, at least where we're at, food vendors. There's trucks. Not food truck. They're vendors, not food truck. We call them that. Or mom and pop little taqueria around here, so you can just get that cheaper too. Anyway, so.
Yeah, because we have food stands all over.
All
so
the
you
time.
just go out and go eat and take care of your stuff that way.
Yeah. Absolutely. So then, the next thing you mentioned that one, Jimmy, the cooler and the ice bucket.
Well, yeah. So a cooler. So obviously, if you have perishables that you want to protect and you don't know how long, it's good that if you have a backup cooler.
Yeah.
And then if you have access, like we do, to an OXXO, which is like your 7-Eleven, that you can go to buy ice. If you don't have enough ice already in your freezer, then you can just start to use like a cooler, or even the bucket.
That handy bucket.
And fill that with ice and pour some of your things that would perish, or milks or whatever, and store that in there long enough to keep things cold and until the power comes back up.
Absolutely, absolutely, good idea. So also we say have some antiseptic gel, hand sanitizer as well in your bath or your baños, because if you can't you can't wash your hands
that's
afterwards.
when it comes to the water. That's something we should have mentioned. We've had to use
I forgot about that.
since the water's been out, antiseptic. You want to use hand sanitizer because, hey, you just want to make sure you keep your hands clean.
You just had to show that, didn't you?
You have to.
That was on standby so he could show you that.
Hand sanitizer is a must in all situations.
Yes. So another thing, a good thing to have for if the electric goes out, is a portable charger, battery charger for your cell phones. So always have that charged up. You did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Anyway, move right. Ignore that part, but don't ignore it. Make sure you have it. Okay.
But that does go with the other thing is like your battery backup surge protector. In fact, it's funny because Cedric from Aging Grateful just showed me a picture of one he picked up. Again, we're in a storm season, and he bought a big one. I think it's like it has 6 outlets on it, but it'll last for like maybe 45 minutes or so for backup battery source.
Nice.
So because of our storm, we're in that season of rainy season, you kind of want to make sure you have something like that, because we will have power outages that will happen periodically, and you want to protect your electronics. And if you have to continue with, like important work or something like that, you want to have those connected to a surge protector that does have a battery backup. So you can always pick those up at, like, say, Sam's Club or Costco. Go on Amazon. Maybe somebody's selling it on Mercado Libre, and you can order that there.
Yes. And we apologize, guys, because I know that the frames are freezing, but hopefully you can still hear us. And when you do the replay, hopefully you can see our faces going along with the video or with the voices, okay?
Right.
Yeah, but we didn't want to just stop. We're going to keep on moving right along.
But with that, I wanted to bring up the other thing is, if you know it's going to be storming and there's the possibility of power outages, keep the essential electronics unplugged. The ones that you really want to protect, if it's not necessary to use at the time, then do not keep them plugged in the outlets.
That's a good point.
Protect them from brown outage. You don't want them to get burned out by a certain surge of electricity through the system, because in Mexico they don't necessarily have a good ground system. So you want to protect those electronics by, if it doesn't need to be plugged in, it's not essential for it to be plugged in, keep it unplugged. So if the power goes out, there's no harm, no foul.
True. That's a good point. Oh, I forgot about that part. Okay, also, I think I said this, but keep everything in your freezer. Close it. Make sure the perishables are not open. I already covered that, so that, because if you keep looking in the fridge, try to say all that cold air is coming out and your food will be ruined.
You mentioned something about freeze dry before we talked.
Oh, yeah. I was saying to Jimmy earlier, also, if you have meat, definitely vacuum seal. Vacuum seal it, because that'll keep it nice, solid, and frozen for longer. So if you happen to have a vacuum seal, everybody doesn't have that. All right, so the next point is to gather everyone into a area so everyone can feel comfortable, especially if you have kids or teenagers. Everybody should be in one room, gathered together, especially with this outage is going on, because this way people can feel comfortable amongst each other and just not alone by yourself scared, because that's not cool. So make sure everybody can gather together in one room. It's just a nice thing to do for your family. Plus, it draw your family closer together, Okay, I mentioned that. Also buy a power, did you say this? A power portable generator?
Well, you need to, you should have, if you can, again, it depends on where you live and what you can bring into your space. You can have the ones that are electric power generators where you can basically have it charged up ahead of time that way, kind of like a battery. Or you can have the ones where you have a generator that's outside and it's gas. And that way you can hook up and even appliances and run those. So depending on your situation, if you're going to be in Mexico, it might be a good idea to have those. If you live here, if you decide to move here, it's not something that you necessarily have to have, but depending on where you live, it might be a good thing.
It's just a good idea, yeah, especially if you bought a house out here. Then
and
you
you're out in the boonies.
Right, yeah, right, exactly. And it's good to have, especially if you have a big home, you could do that. If you're in an apartment, maybe, you know, I don't know how that
But you would just have something that you could have just the battery backups, like we said before, a surge protector with a battery backup on it.
Yeah. I think you mentioned this one, make an emergency contact list, right?
Yeah.
And then also make an emergency kit. So like with your kit, you could have flashlights, batteries, extra matches, lighters, water, non-perishable foods like granola bars, Cliff bars, things like that to eat, crackers, backup cell phone chargers, some medical supplies just in case something happened when the lights are out, blanket, extra clothes, you know. It's good to have if you have a big enough space to do that. If you don't, you can always make a little kit and put it underneath your bed. So I think that's what I'm going to plan on doing for us. So yeah, just to have that emergency kit just in case something happens.
Right.
And also I read to have the local utility information, like their emergency information for like the electric, the gas company, have that emergency information available so that you could contact them.
You should definitely have it in your WhatsApp. So if you're living in Mexico, you're going to be using WhatsApp.
Right.
You know, it's just some way, the main way that we communicate.
Yes.
Via phone is going to be on texting and stuff. A lot of the companies out here will have WhatsApp.
Drop the paper.
They'll be set up on WhatsApp when you make your doctor's appointments, usually your dentist appointments. The WhatsApp is going to be a main source of keeping contact with them. Also, what's great, when you're using WhatsApp and you're, again, not say fluent in the language for Spanish and you're English speaking, you can always translate off of those texts. So it's better to communicate via text through WhatsApp so that you can copy that text and translate it. And also before you send a message, you can always use the translator in the WhatsApp app to just basically take your message that you put in English and have it translated before you send it. That way you get kind of a better response.
Good idea. Okay, so we got that. Oh, here's another one. All right, so keep your car gas at least half full, because
if you have a vehicle.
If you have a vehicle, yes, that makes sense. Keep your car at half full because a lot of times when electricity goes out, sometimes at gas stations is generated by the electric, so you won't be able to get any gas. A lot of times people think they just go get gas and fill up when you can't. So it's good to keep your gas. This is what I heard. So I haven't had that experience just yet, but yeah, it's just a good idea anyway. Like your mom always keeps hers full. So.
Oh, for better gas mileage, she never lets it go below half a tank. I mean, if you're out here with the car in PV, you know, kudos to you because it's not an easy place to drive around in.
I'm not
in the sense that the style of driving is it takes. You can't be a timid driver living out here in Puerto Vallarta. It just will not work.
Absolutely not. That's why I'm not going to drive out here.
And then if you're driving a motorcycle, really kudos to you because you're a daredevil.
I know, right? You're right. So the last and final point is have some books and entertainment and games available for you and your family, just in case the lights go out. And even if you're a single person, you know, you can play cards by yourself, you know, but tangible ones, not just the phone ones, because you don't want to drain out your battery on your phone playing the games on your phone. Okay, so have something tangible that you guys can play together, and it's fun that way to have a board game out for your whole family. This way, to get your mind off of what's going on around you and just focus on each other and love. Right?
Yes.
Love.
So with that, we want to thank you guys for watching.
Yes, thank you for watching. Sorry about my allergies and dripping nose and all that stuff, guys. This is reality. I didn't want to not come on because of that, you know, but I just wanted to come on today and continue the commitment of coming in on Sundays with you guys and start something fresh and new. So But you guys, I love you guys. So, and we appreciate all the subscribers. We appreciate all the comments that you guys joined in the community tab and on the shorts.
And we ask that you just, if you can, go back and maybe look at the replay and see if it got better on the feed, because I think it'll fix itself later. Yeah. And share it with others, because and let us know, what kind of content that you're interested in seeing from us, or
comment below.
What you want to know from us. And for those who are interested in moving to Mexico, please let us know that, hey, I'm trying to plan my first trip. Comment that. And if you do live here and you're an expat in Mexico, tell us what part of Mexico do you live in, and are you experiencing some of these things, or do you have any other suggestions that people should know, other expats or other visitors to Mexico? Because again, if they're coming out here during this time, they're going to experience some type of power outage, or hopefully not what we're going through right now, which is basically no water.
Yeah, that's a whole nother subject. But it could be affected by that, because a lot of the roads got washed out, so that might have affected our water situation. So and a lot of the other people leave anyway during this time of year. Right.
So we have a lot of other expat neighbors that are gone, but for Puerto Vallarta, it does not really die down. And honestly, because now we have more of the Mexican nationals that are tourists that are here. Yeah. So it's really, I like it better.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. I love it a lot.
I love it a lot better now. It's really cool. It's just really joyful. It's
nice to see all the families and all the kids,
tons of families,
kiddos out here, and the doggies running around. So it's nice. We love PV. If you ever come out and visit, hit us up, send me a message, so maybe we can meet up for lunch or something. Just let us know.
Yeah, but just know this: if you're coming in, you're not used to humidity.
Wait till the winter time.
Yeah.
Don't come in the summer.
Come in high season.
Come in high season.
Don't come now. Come in high season. At least make sure that your experience here is going to be one that you're going to really enjoy. Yeah. And you're not going to be irritable, agitated, or something because you don't like sweat.
Yeah. Unless you don't mind sweating. I mean, it burns calories for me, so I'm good.
That's true. So, and that's going to be for another episode about talking about just basically, because this is just a place to be at and really enjoy life, because there's a lot of people that come here and you basically reverse age.
Yeah. See?
You reverse
I'm reversing age. This is from eating healthy all the time.
But we want to say thank you to that, and have a great weekend, guys.
Thank you for watching. We're going to get better at whatever's going on with the glitching. We don't know, but we just...
With our lives, we're going to work on this.
We have to figure that all out. But and plus, too, technically, to go